Good evening, everybody, man. How are y'all doing? Welcome to another edition of SWAC Smoke coming at you live and direct post National Signing Day. So we got a lot of stuff going on, man. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, schedule, signing day. Um, you name it, we're gonna cover it. So without any further ado, DJ, how you doing today?
I'm pretty good, man. A little exhausted, but I think I'll be all right for the show.
Yeah, hey, like I said, you get that show energy, man. You get that second win, and you
Yeah.
be ready to roll. So we not gonna waste y'all time with all the intros and stuff, man. Let's jump to the stuff. If you don't mind, I want to start off with something. Um, the Southern Heritage Classic. JSU said, "Nah, we don't want to play it no more," and they out. So now there's no game where there's no opponent for Tennessee State on September 10th, and they scrambling to try to find somebody. So what you think about that move?
Now, what is Jackson doing? What did they? What reason did they give? I seen some memo going around, but I haven't read it yet.
Well, basically they're saying that they because what's going on with the SWAC and the games in Birmingham and whatnot, they have other situations that conflict with what the Southern Heritage Classic with that date, which they haven't set a date for any game right now. I don't know what their schedule is because they supposed to announce their schedule on Monday, but they're basically saying that we too busy to kick it with you, so we out, and they basically terminated their end of the contract right then and now. Tennessee State is pissed off. They felt like they didn't get any notice. They found
Right.
out through other people. The people who running the classic, they upset. So it's a mess right now, man. I don't know. I don't know if JSU got something in the works that they trying to schedule already. That I don't know what their plan is, but right now everybody in Tennessee is not happy. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they handle this. The Memphis newspaper listed 5 teams that could replace them, but every one of those teams has a game on the date of the Southern Heritage Classic,
Right.
and I don't see nobody moving no games. So I don't know what they're gonna do.
I don't know why they would do that though. Like, w- I mean, what other team gonna draw that crowd too? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why they. I don't know, man. It don't make sense to me. Like you said, we can only wait and see if we can halfway justify it by whatever they got going on. But I mean, if you had 2 more years on the contract, I feel like you should have went on and played them out.
Yeah, see, when I first heard this news, I thought this was like, we not gonna play it after the end of the contract, and then I read it and I'm like, they pulling out now. It's like,
Right.
whoa. So I just really don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know unless they got a home game with Alabama, which I don't, which I know is not happening. I don't see any other game unless you. I don't know what other big money opportunity you could have that would cancel that game. So
Right.
I, if it's a conference thing, conference schedules always move around. So I don't know. I just I don't know what they're doing. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this happens. Like I said, Tennessee State is very heated. The president, she was really fussing and cussing about it. Um, so we'll see. I just, I wanted to kick off with that because that's like, a hot button thing right now. So I just wanted to see how you felt about that.
Yeah, I think uh pre Coach Prime, this don't happen. So some of the stuff that I might have had reservations about could already start happening. I'm not sure. I can't really speak on it till, like you said, till we see the actual schedule. But I don't think this move happens prior to him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like I said, unless it's got to be something. They JSU been moving real calculated. Um, Shout out Big Thrillo, what's happening? Welcome aboard as usual.
Yeah,
JSU been making a lot of calculated moves. So this move that they're making has to have something behind it. They haven't been moving, rash. So I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt on this just because I don't know what they got up their sleeve. But this could be one of those prime effect things. Hey, somebody might have came at them with more money for a game, and this their only opportunity. You know, they don't have very many non-conference games, so maybe this, got slid to the side. Maybe maybe they feel like the money ain't what it's supposed to be no more. So hopefully we get some kind of explanation from JSU, and until then, they we'll just give them the benefit of the doubt. Um, at some point they probably will at least attempt a move, but you know, unless there's a bombshell they about to drop on everybody, then I in the upcoming future, I would not be surprised if they did try to make a move.
Yeah, I can end on this, I guess. If it is about some money game, that would kind of look bad on Dion because all money ain't good money. He's been on record saying that. So if it's about money, then you're gonna do Eddie George something like that for some money. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I didn't even think of it that way. It's like that quote is gonna come up a lot. That all money
Yeah,
ain't good money. So it's better be. I don't even know what could be better than playing this game that's been going on for years against a
right,
legit rival. I don't
right.
see short of playing the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't see any other team that you can play that's gonna bring in the money that this game is gonna bring in. Now, maybe with the crowds they've been pulling in Jackson, they think they can pull in 60K against anybody. I don't see that, but I'm just gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm gonna just back off of it right there. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, they keep on. I'm with Joey Jackson. They keep on. I can see. I can see that happening. I hope it don't, but I can see that happening. It's kind of strange. Yeah,
Yeah, they just signed a contract. What, last year or the year before? To re up. So
yeah,
I, I like I said, this is a surprising move, and it's one of those things that you got to be real careful how you handle this. So I I just I hope they thought this out really clear. This ain't an emotional type of thing. So like I said, I guess we just have to see. Hopefully Monday will tell a lot of the story when they schedule come out.
all right.
So I'm gonna keep driving a little bit.
Go ahead.
That takes me to schedules, and I want to start with Southern. We talked about this already. Man, I do not like two non FCS opponents. I don't mind one, but I don't mind one, but I don't like two teams like that. No offense to Virginia Lynchburg or Florida Memorial. I'm sure y'all are good schools, but I don't really think that's a good move. I don't like that.
Man, a lot of people. Well, I want to address that David Thomas comment. I
Okay.
don't know if that was going to be my question. If it's a contract involved, shouldn't you be losing money? Shouldn't there be something in there? If you terminate that contract early.
Yeah, and that's one thing I read in the article that I read in the Clarion Ledger. The guy who's over the Southern Heritage Classic, he made it very clear to say multiple times that JSU is in breach of their contract. So
Yeah, when you start saying that,
and he said that multiple times in that article. So I don't, I'm sure they're gonna have to probably take a route that you might not really want to take in a game like this. But if they did that, then you have to do whatever to get the repercussions. So like I said, hopefully JSU know what they're doing and they got something better in line, like legit better. But it's not a good look right now. I'm gonna just say that. I don't know. I like the game in October. Um, September is really really early. I'm assuming it has something to do with the promoters of the game. So I'm a I'm gonna point the finger at them and say, they put us in a rough spot. But I prefer the game to be middle of the year. I think it fits better there. But I I I I'm just not a big fan of Southern's home schedule. No offense to anybody, I will be at all 5 games, which is great. But there's not a lot of big name schools to draw people. Of course, you can't have a home schedule like you had last year. But Los J coming in with the smoke at the he coming out the gate with it. I can't disagree. I can't disagree. And I was one of the people that really dragged TSU for that North American game. And we said hold our beer. We're gonna double up on y'all. So all I can say is Dooley at least got 2 W's to start the season off. So I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Well, let's not assume.
Oh, man, come on, don't play with me right now.
Nah,
let me
man.
let,
Like
let, let me be happy, man. Don't bring me down
I'm
yet.
a big believer in playing the game. Like everybody's talking all this noise about this school and that school, and I mean, what are you basing it on? You know what I'm saying? We haven't seen neither of those teams play this fall yet. So hold your horses. After the season, then you can talk about how trash they were. I mean, after the game, but you don't
Oh,
know.
like I said, any given Saturday is always a thing, and you
Yeah,
do have to be wary of these kind of teams because they don't have the FCS, FBS limitations and stuff. So some of the guys be out there got talent. Like I didn't realize that one of Miles's running backs was the guy from Michigan.
yeah, Kingston
And
Davis.
yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't realize I didn't recognize his name till a
yeah.
couple of days ago, and I'm like, no wonder dude just ran straight through us all night long. People couldn't understand why a guy from Miles was doing work, but the dude's a legit FBS football player. So you have those kind of situations. Years ago, we played Texas College for homecoming, and they had a lot of D1 guys on their team, and the score was like 14 and a half, and nobody could understand why. So I mean, obviously, you got to be careful, but I'm just gonna try to be confident in these situations.
Yeah, no, I got you. I've been watching everybody talk trash in the SWAC groups,
Well,
and
this is trash talk season. Everybody undefeated.
yeah,
From now until August 27th or September 3rd, everybody undefeated. Man, we all SWAC champs. Everybody players are SWAC players of the year. We all got the SWAC coach of the year. We all
yeah,
got FBS wins. We all we all are great right now. Nobody
everybody got
nobody
the best recruits.
Yes, yes. We got 9-star guys, not 4-star, 5-star guys. We got 9-star guys. Our guys work hard and y'all guys don't. So everybody feeling themselves right now. So it's just one of them things that soon, the rubber gonna hit the road at some point. But right now, it's talking season.
Oh yeah, I get it. Who
But
else? That's all you really got right now. Huh? The only schedule's been released.
no, but well, yeah, those 4. Nobody, nobody really impressive. Prairie View does have 3 FCS opponents on their schedule, so that that's always a good thing. They've been scheduling pretty well, so hopefully that kind of translates over to Southern. Um, I'm probably one of the few people that like to see those kind of teams on the schedule. I know a lot of people don't really get into that because they don't bring anybody to the stadium, but I always think of it as a good measuring stick against those kind of teams in your state, especially. So hopefully we get some better schedules. Our only teams left Valley, Pine Bluff, Jackson, I think. Has FAMU announced their schedule? Yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
they have.
They did it
Yeah,
last
man, you
week.
have.
Um, I think that's it. TSU, they haven't announced the schedule yet either. So you got they coming out in 4. So next week the last 4 probably be out. So we'll see. Alabama A&M does have 2 FBS games though. I hate that for sure.
Oh, you hate what they play? Austin P. Is that them playing Austin P and Abilene Christian? Who playing them teams?
Who playing them? Valley?
That's it. No, it's either
No.
PV or A&M. It's gonna be
I'm gonna sit that one out. I ain't going to the game like that now. Maybe some shorts, but I had a wife beater on and some shorts. So I don't think they're ready for the speedos yet. But let's okay. That's he said that's A&M got Austin P on the schedule, so that's a good
okay.
that's a good opponent. You know, what I mean, solid
Yeah.
OVC team. So I mean, you know, I fuss scheduling a lot, and for my team to schedule like they did, Prairie View playing Abilene Christian,
Okay.
and I know they also playing Lamar, so they got a pretty Texas heavy schedule, and they've been been able to get a lot of those schools to their stadium. So you know, I think that's hopefully that can kind of continue with us, but right now it is what it is, man. Like I said, I'm gonna be at the games regardless of who they play, so I'm just don't mind me. I'm that old man yelling at the cloud. That's all that is.
When it comes to scheduling, let me ask you a question. So, by you saying, playing Abilene Christian or this or that is a good schedule, are you implying that those schools are better than us?
No, 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 no.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you know, I like to see where my team stacks up against teams in my state and region, and that's it. I'm SWAC all day.
Yeah. No, I'm
I'm
just
never
saying
gonna.
that's what it sounds like in the groups. A lot of the groups. I'm just asking a general question. I
Oh
mean, no
no,
hard feelings either way, but
oh
that's
no.
that's the way it's implied mostly.
Yeah, I mean, because I think some people do have that feeling like we aren't anybody unless we play these schools. I don't really feel like that. I just feel like, it's always good to have those kind of teams on my schedule. So when I do beat them, I can walk in somebody's house in the state and say,
Yeah.
we took care of business against these guys. Why you looking over there? We got just as good a talent. Like, even
Right.
though we lost 2 games to McNeese, I feel like man for man, Southern team was better than theirs. But I just like to look at it like that. I don't really think of it as we don't measure up, because that's just not true at all.
All right. I like that response.
Yeah, I had that one wrote down just in case. So, anything else you think about anybody's schedule? You see anything that stand out to you yet?
No, nothing other than we everybody homecoming game just about. So
Well,
that's all I know.
y'all dodged the bullet, man. We playing Virginia Lynchburg for homecoming, so
Yeah.
uh, I
We ain't have to
really
come
want to
spoil
return the
it.
favor. Huh?
We ain't have to come spoil y'all homecoming this year. So y'all
Yeah,
lucked up.
y'all did spoil our one spring game that we had.
Yeah.
That was rough. But luckily, y'all don't have to deal with that with us. So Virginia Lynchburg, they'll be homecoming. You heard anything yet about Pine Bluff schedule?
Nope. I can't even get the official signing day list.
Man, uh, can you give me like 1 second to go on a soapbox?
Go ahead.
All right. Speaking of signing day, and we can talk about a lot of things that cover with signing day, but a lot of schools, well, half the schools in the league, man, they made it really hard to find information on their classes. I had to scour Twitter. Um, I didn't find anything on Prairie View that I could see when I was looking things up. I had to go on Southern Twitter, even though I did watch the recruiting bash online. But Pine Bluff was hard to find. Valley. Um, it people need to do. I know a lot of these schools are growing. I know a lot of these schools are learning how this stuff goes now, but it was just hard, man, and I just I was really frustrated. I did a live show last night, and I was like scouring for information. I literally was worn out by the end because I just looking and looking to try to find stuff. So I y'all talk to y'all social media people, man, and get them up to speed. Gremlin did a great job with their social media posts on signing day. I don't know if you saw anything that they posted on Instagram throughout the day with the
Oh
video
yeah.
clips and everything of the guys.
Hmm.
I thought that was, I thought that was good. JSU been doing good with their social media, and both A&Ms, they've been doing good. So I thought it was a mixed bag, but hopefully it gets better.
Yeah, it's like I see Los J say it was on Twitter, which I don't know who he's referring to with it, but some of us old school people, we wanted to go to the website and just see a list at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I can operate Twitter a little bit, and I ain't even that old, but I really don't be on there like that. But who is he with? What school he from?
Yeah, let us know who you with. Because I would definitely love a list of really everybody. I like to get a comprehensive list. I'm a list guy, man. I just like to have things listed out for me. And
Oh, A&M.
oh,
Okay,
I
yeah,
saw I
they,
saw y'all. I
yeah.
actually saw y'all's on your website. Y'all signed 50, 11 guys, man. Huge class. 38. I would say 75% defense. Coach Manor, he was not happy with their defensive performance last year, and it shows in the recruiting. They went defense heavy, so a lot of portal guys. So they looking to fix this right now. So we'll see if they get it together because they brought in a lot of portal guys last year on defense, and a lot of them didn't pan out. At least right now I know some guys were injured, but they threw big numbers at defense. Grambling signed over 30 guys, so those were two big classes over the course of early and late signing period. Southern signed 27 guys, so it's been big, and Southern went defense heavy too. So we everybody still chasing that JSU hat that's on everybody's table right now.
One thing I like with A&M, few Jackson State guys, Valley, the trenches, man. Like they got some big guys in the trenches. I mean, it's yet to be seen if they can actually play. But you talking about somewhat of linemen what I used to see growing up, 6'7", 6'9", offensive defensive lineman. That's big. We got to get back good in the trenches. No disrespect to nobody who's played recently, but we got to get that size, man.
Yeah, I mean it all starts up front.
Right.
It's cliche, but games are won and lost on the offensive defensive line.
Facts.
Jackson State went defensive offensive line heavy, man. They I appreciate a coaching staff knowing what your problem is and trying to address it. Like you said, we don't know if anybody gonna pan out, but if you make the effort to fill needs, to me that's your best class, not the stars. Not somebody with a flashy huddle tape. It's filling your needs, at least on paper, filling your needs and putting yourself in a position to be successful. So I thought most teams I thought did that this year. Everybody kind of tried to fill the holes that they had, and they went pretty hard, especially on the offensive line.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out what holes we fill down the Pine Bluff, but uh,
Special teams,
yeah,
y'all lost a
uh,
good kicker, so y'all got a new one.
we got a new one. But man, it's well. I mean, I looked at one of them quarterbacks, the quarterback tape. I think he out of Georgia somewhere. I looked at his tape. It's pretty decent tape. The most probably exciting I am about the signing class is the running back out of Theodore, Alabama. He was originally committed to Tuskegee, but he had like 1,317 touchdowns this past season. His coach spoke highly of him, his high school coach, which, I mean, I don't know how much that's saying he's supposed to talk highly of him in the newspaper, but he talked higher of him than he did any of the other signees. So he says this guy should have been a D1 talent, and he started talking about how he thinks the portal affected his recruitment. He said, if you're not a Power Five guy now, it's hard for you to get that scholarship to lower level, D1 schools and mid majors and things like that, which we've been talking about that. Some of the coaches are talking about it. some people don't think that's actually going to be a problem in the future. But make a long story short, I'm looking forward to see that kid tote the ball.
Yeah, and one of the issues Pine Bluff had last year, and even in the spring, was actually running the ball.
Right.
So I don't know if it was a scheme thing or a talent thing, but you can never have enough guys in that running back room. So I mean, you know that,
Yeah.
you can never have enough guys, because you can always rotate guys. But given a guy that's hungry is going to go a long way in helping your team. And I've seen a lot of guys not get signed or lose opportunities because of portal guys, and we've been over that so many times.
Yeah.
That's one of those kind of things that that's going to really be an issue to talk about pretty much every year from now on. But you just have to adjust and try to make the best out of every opportunity that you get. So I think any kid that's coming out of high school, I think they're going to be a little bit more hungry now. So um, we'll see what's going on. But Grambling recruited very heavily. California, Coach Hugh, he was in California heavy. Louisiana, Baton Rouge, he recruited Southern real heavy this year. So he took a couple guys from Southern, but did not take one. So,
oh man, that
you
man,
had
come
to work
on,
that in
man.
now.
We gonna bring that up. Are we really gonna talk about that?
I'm just gonna say it, man. I'm not gonna go into it. I'm just gonna say
Yeah.
it. Um, everything is not always what it seems on the surface. So, every move that Grambling made against Southern, two of the three moves that Grambling made against Southern, they were not what they seemed. So, I'm gonna be real cryptic and leave it at that.
Yeah, it's something about that kid, man. I really don't know, but it that was just that was a weird thing. Like somebody brought up, like you gonna announce your commitment on the show with a Southern guy with a Gremlin shirt. I mean,
Can,
come on,
can,
man. Like,
can I say he made that announcement while he was in Baton Rouge? Can I say that? Because he was in Baton Rouge since Tuesday night.
yeah, that whole thing was just crazy. But I do want to ask you, how come Dooley, like Alabama State, signing folks out of Baton Rouge, and everybody coming in Baton Rouge getting a little something, man? What's going on?
Well, Baton Rouge is now a hot breeding ground for talent in football. For years, Baton Rouge was a basketball city. We got there's a lot of schools in this city that a lot of people don't realize how many schools are in a city the size of Baton Rouge. So Southern is in the process of trying to get their name back in those schools. I thought Coach Dooley did a good job at Southern Lab, which to me is very important. You got to recruit the school that's literally on your campus. But everybody came in, and Prairie View got a couple guys from Baton Rouge. Grambling got three guys from my old high school. Um, Alabama State came in, So it's going to take some time to kind of fence this city off, but I thought Southern did a pretty good job with getting some kids from a couple schools that don't normally send kids to Southern. So he wants to recruit Louisiana, so he's gonna definitely make Baton Rouge a focus.
Yeah, I think I made a mistake. I think it's Prairie View who got a receiver out of Baton Rouge, but
Alabama State did get a guy from Baton Rouge.
oh, they did too.
Prairie View
Okay,
did too.
yeah.
Dooley don't own it right now, but he's filling out his paperwork. So he will have his name on the lease of this city.
Gotta get a credit check first. We gotta check his credibility, man.
Yeah, we gotta make sure everything is all up, check his references and everything. So
Yeah.
it's gonna get it's one of those things that Baton Rouge is a city where kids they do like to leave. So you have to try to make your school enticing for them to stay. And I think with Dooley being a guy from Louisiana and being from around the city, he knows how important it is to get these kids. So hopefully not as many get out as has been getting out in years past. So I thought all in all, I thought it was a good move. He got like 6 or 7 guys from the Baton Rouge area, so that's a good start to me.
We'll see how it goes down. I can't wait.
Oh, I know, man. Like I said, it is. I'm ready for the first football game already, but I'm trying to keep myself, in basketball mode. So I'm really trying not to hype too much of football, but I'm eagerly awaiting that first game in Mumford to see, how the crowd is and how, what kind of product we put on the field. It's gonna be up and downs, but I'm really just trying to stay even till basketball is over. I don't know if I don't want to jump around. If you got anything still on signing day?
Nah, go ahead.
All right. Cause I'm all over the place, man. Y'all know I'm kind of hyper a little bit. Um, basketball. Did you keep up with the JSU Southern game, the women's game Monday
Mm-mm.
night? It was a That was a really good game, man. JSU ended up winning by 8, but Southern was in the game the whole time. They actually led at the end of the third quarter. Um, and I think they ran out of gas a little bit, but they pushed, they pushed JSU probably as much as anybody. Grambling gave JSU a game also on Saturday, for a half. So they played a really solid game, but JSU was a machine, man. 24 straight wins in conference play, so they just they running over people right now. But I was really proud with the effort of the Southern women's team to hang in that game. Unfortunately, I thought we played Jackson twice. We only played Jackson Alcorn once this year, so that's I was hoping for a rematch in Baton Rouge, but that don't happen. Hopefully, we could see them in the tournament and get a victory there.
Yeah, I seen some games supposed to be on NBA TV.
Yeah, FAMU, TSU, NBA TV. I think Grambling and TSU supposed to be
There's
on
two
NBA
games
TV as
on
well
there.
next
Yeah.
next week. So they they're getting a lot of this exposure is coming in. I think we had like last week TSU and PV on ESPNU. So they're getting out there. I think it's getting there. I like to see the NBA TV kind of get their hands in a couple games. Um, Going to atmospheres that will be great for TV, so that helps a lot. FAMU got a really good home atmosphere. TSU got a good home atmosphere. So those kind of things translate really well for TV.
I saw you. Well, it's on my mind 'cause now I'm hopping around. But you pulled up the NFL PA Bowl.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I watched quite a bit of that, man. I didn't know Marquise Bell. They played him at corner quite a bit. How do you think he gonna fare at corner? You think he's a corner, or you think he's a safety?
I mean, I didn't get the chance to see him
Yeah,
play in the game, but I know, I think it was 2019. They played him at corner a bit at FAMU. They moved him around the field. I think he's a great safety, because I think he has great ball skills and he can hit you. So I think he translates well. Like I said, I didn't get to see him play corner, so I don't want to say what he can do and can't do. But
yeah.
I do like his game as safety. Did you see anything? I know it's a limited thing, but did you see anything that was good as far as him playing corner in that game?
No, I didn't really see. I didn't even see the ball go his way a lot when he was playing corner, but I just saw him line up at corner a few times, and it kind of caught me off guard. But I saw C.J. Holmes. I saw a lot of him in that game. He played pretty decent. Um, of course, Glass did well. James Houston, he pressured the quarterback a lot. He didn't get to him a lot, but he brought a lot of pressure. He kind of did what he normally do. So I think overall, I would give the SWAC players, B plus, A minus grade just from what I seen when I watched them.
Yeah, like I said, I like the Glass definitely did. Had a really good game. Um, Thinking threw a touchdown and led the team down the field for a game-winning field goal attempt, which they missed. But I thought he played well. Um, like you said, C.J. Holmes, I heard his name a lot in the practice reports, so I
Yeah.
heard he did pretty well in practice. So James Houston, like you said, he is who he is, man. He may not get sacks, but he's gonna get pressure. Everybody represented themselves well, so I thought that was a good thing. Kind of going over to the combine, it's hard to say. Like I said, this was the first real year they did it. They had 38 guys there. I thought they had a really good, a really good turnout, and a lot of guys did do well for themselves. Marquise McClain from Southern, his name came up a lot. He didn't have the best numbers um, as far as on the field this year, but physically, the dude's a monster physically. I don't know if you guys have ever seen him. He's like he's a really built guy. He looks like a football player, and he put up good stats in terms of his um workouts and things like that. So we'll see. But they didn't release a lot of information on it though. That's what I really was hoping for, more information. I only saw a few guys. Jared Garner from Valley, he had a good day there. Ezra Gray had a good day. But not a lot of information came out of it as far as I know.
I think I read some thing that kind of like ranked them like best on field performance, best tester. But I know Felix Harper name was in there for something. A few more guys, but one thing I wanted to touch on, I don't know if you kind of watched any other interviews and stuff on YouTube from that day, but one thing we got to do is media prep. A
Yes,
lot of it's like the interviews. I ain't gonna call no names because I ain't trying to down these kids, but you can tell the schools that either take time with that or they parents who taught them something, and the schools that don't. You know what I mean? Because they talking uh uh all that kind of stuff. So we got to be better prepared because they interviewing with the teams. You see what I'm
yeah,
saying?
and
These are
and you
job interviews.
and if you know anything about combines, you know that interview process is heavily weighted on on how they evaluate you.
Right.
Sometimes it might not be a good judge because some people just don't, not people, but
Right.
they look at how you respond to people. They look at what you're saying, and for some teams they weigh that heavily than what they see from you on the field because they already know what you can do. They want to know
Hmm.
what kind of person you are. They want to know how you carry yourself. And like you said, if you're not speaking, you know, concise or intelligently, I'm not trying to throw no
Yeah.
shade at nobody, but if
Right.
you're not really being the most, well-spoken person, then that can really help hurt you. And like you said, this is a job interview. You can't really talk crazy on job interviews in the regular world, so you can't do it there either. And they got money tied up in you, big money, so they want to know what they're getting. So yeah, I think media training is very important. That's another thing that needs to be taken care of because of the level of exposure that's coming around the league. There's more cameras and eyes on everybody. Kids need to know how to carry themselves on camera.
Yeah. And you already know what they think of you anyway. They looking for any excuse not to take you. So we already didn't have nobody taken last year. So I mean, we don't need to let there be a reason why. You know what I mean? So, and I look at it like this: if you on the fence, say you're a player and you on the fence, you're an athlete. We really don't know where to play you, or this or that, and then we interview you, and you come in talking crazy. So it's automatic. No, we don't need you. You know what I'm saying? But if you speak well and you impress them with your intelligence, we might can find a spot for this guy.
Oh yeah, I mean, because you gotta, if you're a guy that's like you say a borderline guy, you gotta realize that they can find eight of
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
You're not a dime. You're a dime a dozen. They can find somebody for you. They probably already got somebody like you on their practice squad, so they don't need you. You need to impress them to make them want you. Um, it's a lot like being in school. You don't make good grades, but the teacher know you and you try, you might
yeah.
get that bump up. But if you sit in the back and don't make yourself known and you struggle, then yeah, you're not gonna get that grade. So it's just you really need to really put a lot of emphasis on this. Honestly, just for your sake as a human being, you really
Right.
should.
It's
I
bigger
know
than yeah.
it's a lot of things that some people don't have any control over, but as best as you can, you need to try to put yourself in the best positions. And when you get into the NFL, they ruthless in those interviews. So you need to really be as well prepared as you can because they gonna strike you out on that.
And I see your offensive lineman Carter. He's doing pretty good at the Senior Bowl practices this week. So hopefully he uh he does really well in the game and comes away with some positive feedback.
Yeah, I saw a couple of, a couple of reps that he had in some of the drills, and he was physical, man. It's you never know, but he's holding his own against FBS guys. So he's being projected to be a guard in the NFL. He was a tackle at Southern. So, but he's performing well. So a good game in the Senior Bowl could really help him. It's tough in All-Star games for linemen. That's a camaraderie position, chemistry position, and those guys haven't been together long. You're
Yeah.
playing against guys that they don't. It's nothing crazy with schemes, but you just don't know a lot of times. So we'll see. But I think he tested well in practice. That goes a long way.
Is Marquise Bell, is he playing in this game too? I thought he was invited. Did he get invited to this or no?
I didn't hear I didn't hear his name, but that doesn't mean he wasn't invited.
I think
Um,
he's going to the combine. I think he's going to the regular combine. I think he
and
did
I
get
think I
invited to
think
that.
I think he can do well there. Like I said, the guys, he measurables, he's there, and he plays really well in space. So I think he has a good opportunity to have his name called in the draft. So on paper, there's quite a few guys I think can get drafted from the SWAC, but you know how that goes once the draft gets here.
Yeah.
But there's a nice class, and there's gonna be even better classes coming after this. But I think there's a few guys who can possibly hear their name called. So I'm really hopeful for everybody that's eligible for the draft this year to see what happens.
I got to put you on the spot one time before we get out of here.
And let's do it.
Out of, out of, let me just ask you straight up. Felix Harper, NFL quarterback or no?
Um, his size. He's. I mean, I know everybody gonna say short quarterbacks are the thing, but the kid's like 5'11", I guess. Might not even be that tall, but
Los J. Come on, Los J.
he is, man.
Well,
He
I
he
ate
is.
before this time. I actually
It,
ate
it,
before.
oh, so
Yeah.
I'm the only one. But
Yeah.
let me get back. But I don't like. I mean, his size is the thing I think they're gonna hold against him. But he didn't have as far as he didn't have the best year last year, and that was the year that everybody had film on him. The first year he was really good, really efficient, only threw like 2 or 3 interceptions, but nobody really knew who he was. So with a lot of attention on him, and some other issues that Alcorn had, his numbers weren't as good. But right now, I don't think he's an NFL guy. I think he's a great college quarterback, but I don't think he's an NFL guy right now.
All
Now,
right.
if he grew 3 or 4 inches overnight, I think he might be, but not now.
All right. We're gonna get on David Thomas guy. Glass. Aquil Glass. So I'm gonna just preface it by saying this. A lot of people claim, his draft stock dropped after the JSU game and this and that. He got exposed after the JSU game. Does one game hurt your entire career, or do you think he still has that potential?
One game, I don't care. One game can cannot. I don't think one game can hurt you like that. Especially a game like that. That game was JSU played the best game they played all year. They didn't play that well any game after that. That was an emotional game for them. They ambushed Alabama and them. They had they had I think a defensive score that kind of put the game out there. But I think Glass is an NFL quarterback. I've seen him play in person. He's a big kid. The first time I saw him was in 2019. I didn't realize he was that big. He's a big guy. He's not the most mobile guy, but he can move when he needs to. Um, Everybody's not going to get pressure on you like JSU did. Alabama A&M offensive line was not good that night,
Mm-mm.
but I think he's a guy that can do what you need. He's smart. he knows, he knows where to go with the football. He knows how to run an offense, and he's coached by a guy who is an offensive guy. So I think he has a good shot. Probably like a late round guy, but I think he's gonna get an opportunity.
Yeah. So this the year for him to come out if he gonna come out.
Yeah, I saw somewhere where I think they said he was top 10 in the quarterback class. Like, there's not a great class, and that helps a lot. Like you
Yeah.
said, if you want to kind of make your name, a weak class is the way to do it. You can sneak in maybe a little bit higher. Somebody want to take a flyer on you like fifth, sixth round. I think he got a good shot of being successful if he can make it, because I think he's a really good quarterback.
All right. Last question. Out of what we have right now in the SWAC, these good young quarterbacks, who is the next pro out of the SWAC? Who do you think out of Andrew Body and Shador and those guys, who do you think besides we know they're great college quarterbacks, but who do you think really has pro potential?
Well, I mean, if you want to talk that, I'm gonna say Shador, man. The dude's groomed for that. He's been training with NFL quarterbacks. He is getting that kind of lessons, and he's right. He's been entrusted with a team since he's been on campus, and he's gonna be put in positions to not fail. So I think he's the guy who's gonna be the guy who gets all the attention. But of course, Andrew Bott is a guy who's a very good quarterback, and he still has a lot of growing to do. And I think if he could take some big steps this year, then I think that he will be the next guy. But right now, it's Shador right now, pretty much. To me, that's an easy question.
So this basically what you said about Felix Harper, that's the way I feel about Shador. I want to see him do it multiple years because he can get shook up, he gets shaky. Right now, I don't see him as a pro quarterback, but we are talking potential. But right now, I think a little bit better competition than what he's playing. He's not doing what he does. But and
Yeah.
this no hate on him, but I
Oh,
would just like to see another year after everybody's been watching film,
yeah,
and if
and
he,
like you said, that's pretty much what I said about Felix Harper. So
yeah,
I can't hold it on one guy and not on the other.
yeah,
But the one thing that I will say that I did like about Shador for most games, not the Celebration Bowl, was he had a lot of poise in the pocket. Now Celebration Bowl, he got hit a lot, he got rattled, which was something that didn't happen to him too often. But which is a surprise with the offensive line they had. He took shots all year long, but he was able to keep himself in games and position to make plays at the end. He didn't have to do a lot. He had some great receivers, but they didn't have to throw deep that often. And the time they did, guys were pretty much open because teams can't account for everybody. So I do want to see him, grow. I don't think he's a finished product by any means. I do want to see him grow, but just for the sake of the question, that's
right.
that's the way I went. But he still got a lot of growing to do. I wouldn't say he's an NFL quarterback right now, but if he continued on the trajectory, then he will be. Just because I feel like he's groomed for that right now already.
And I don't know if you remember, I brought this up about Body, what Thrillo said about his throwing motion.
Yeah,
Like when I watch him throw, it looks funny to me. It looks a little off. I hadn't seen him play in person, but when I look at the film, his throwing motion looks a little off. But I know he's gonna do well.
yeah, and that's kind of why I said, I think he's probably the next guy,
Yeah,
because he still has some development to do. He still has a lot of growing to do, and he's only a freshman, and he's a guy who is actually, one of those kids that you look at and you're like, okay, I know he's gonna get better from year to year. It's gonna be up to the coaches to develop him, and put him in better, put him in position to, have the good mechanics that he needs, because either like it or not, black quarterbacks they get judged by all of that. Mechanics all the time. White quarterbacks can kind of get away with certain things.
yeah, of
So
course.
being black and coming from the SWAC, you have to really be on point. So um, I expect him to grow. And Los JC working with a QB coach, so he's gonna get better. I really think he's gonna get better. So We have two quarterbacks right now that are young that can be future pros, but we'll see if anybody else comes through.
Yeah, and a lot of people had something to say about that Ohio State signee to Jackson State at quarterback, but I think that was a good move. I don't know how good that kid is, but you always want to have multiple quarterbacks. You don't want to have just one. Like for all the people that saying that's stupid, I mean, it's good to me. I want my backup to be just as good as my starter if I could have it my way.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot, you cannot always go through a season without your quarterback getting,
Yeah.
nicked up or shook up for, a series or two. And you want to have somebody that can come in that can keep the offense going. So, yes, you need a backup quarterback. Everybody knows Shador is the starter. This kid is not going to start over him unless he just, you know, is the second coming of the greatest quarterback ever. But he can at least push him in practice and keep him sharp and then be ready when he needs to get in. So you need at least two quarterbacks. I'm sorry, that's just that you don't want to go into a season with one guy. I don't care who you are. Anything can happen.
Let me ask you this then, because I'm on the roll. If to put your Coach Prime hat on, if that kid comes in and plays, has a really solid spring, really solid summer, and just plays lights out, do you think Coach Prime would sit his son down? Like realistically, if this guy outplays him and it's clear, do you think he would actually still get a shot to play?
um, no, I'm gonna say no because I don't feel like. I mean, right now with what we've been presented, I think Shador is going to get every opportunity, and the deck is stacked a little bit against the kid coming in already. Now, if his name was Shador Jones, then yes, he would be able to he would have to sit. But right now, I don't see it, man, because I feel like not only is Shador the starting quarterback, but he's been put as a leader on this team. Um, so that's if unless the team totally takes to this guy, then you looking at an issue that might shake up a locker room. But right now, I say no. But I would
Yeah,
love to be proven wrong though.
yeah, that's the only thing I say about like them combinations like that. Coaches and their kids, some of them, not all coaches do that, but I mean, if you truly for the team and this kid outplays him, what do you do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you to me, you have to do what's best for the team. If this kid is making the plays and he doing everything that you need him to do off and on the field, then you need to reward him because people will see that. People see guys working hard and don't get rewarded. You have problems. And anybody that plays sports has played on a team with a coach's kid. So you know how that can be. I was a coach's kid in basketball with my dad. He made me work harder than everybody else. I rode the bench for most of the season. I was six, seven, eighth man. But it's just sometimes coaches like to be harder on their kids and make them earn it. Some coaches like to kind of not give their kids a job, but give them more opportunities. So I just think unless this kid comes in and really lights it up and just looks great all the time, then I don't see it going his way. At least not right now.
Now, I'm gonna be a little messy then before I get out of here. I think if a better safety came in, he'll sit Shiloh down.
Man, I have said for many times to anybody that I talk to about JSU, I feel like Shiloh is the black sheep, man. He never talks about this kid. He's harder on him than he is on Shador. QB1 gets the love. Shador don't. I mean, Shiloh don't really get it. So yeah, I think if somebody came in and worked, then yes, they would move him around. So I could easily see that happening. I could definitely see that happening.
Well, I ain't gonna hold y'all too much longer, man, with these old questions, but that's just stuff I be thinking about sometimes.
Well, hey, it's this is basically a segment of the show. I get put on the hot seat, so hey, I enjoy it, man. And it's always you keep me on my toes. I have to kind of think a little bit and come up with some stuff. You hit me with some curveballs today, but it's all good. I appreciate it. And unlike DJ, I have not eaten yet today. So it's my turn to get out and get some dinner. So I'm gonna be getting some looks when I come out of here. So um, I don't have anything else for the day, man. Y'all, hopefully everybody is nice and warm. I'm not, so hopefully y'all can enjoy yourself. Big basketball weekend. I'll be at Southern for the Saturday game against Alabama A&M, and next week Southern TSU next week. So we'll talk about that a little bit. And yes,
Let's change it.
I need to bring my food with me, man. If y'all don't mind me eating, then I'll eat on camera. I don't know how many of y'all used to watch like the Joe Budden podcast, but dude used to eat and drink on camera. If y'all don't mind, man, I'll get my fork and plate and I grow up while DJ talking. So we might have to we might have to come up with that one day. But I don't have anything else, man. DJ, you got anything you want to throw in before we get out of
Nah,
here?
I just appreciate everybody stopping by, man, and chopping it up with us.
Yeah, I definitely want to, show that appreciation, man, and thank all y'all that tuned in last night for that show I threw together. Um, and I hope y'all enjoy watching me struggle reading people's names for like an hour. So, we can't do this without y'all. So we just want to continue to thank y'all, and we'll catch y'all next week.
All right.